What it do, Gamecock Nation, and welcome back. So we're going to talk some Rebels today, and this is Cocky Talk with Marlon Anderson. Thank you for tuning in to episode 17, Rebel Without a Cause. And we're going to have some big-time games with some big-time implications this Saturday as well, with some other big-time matchups. But, we're going to stick to the Gamecocks for now. So, speaking on last week, speaking on the game against Tennessee, we pulled out a victory, even though after another slow start. But I love the effort in that game. At the beginning, I was real salty watching the first half because I wanted to see some solid execution for 4 quarters. I know the coaching staff did as well. I know they're trying. Hey, listen. I know y'all are going to say, why are these coaches not getting these guys ready to play from the beginning to the end of the game and execute solidly throughout the entire course of the game? But I guarantee you they're trying everything they can. It's up to the players to want to execute. A lot of stuff that's going on in a lot of the negative impacts on the game is caused because of the players. It's not the play calling. It's not the coaching philosophy. It's the players not executing. So anyway, but I was worried because I was thinking that, are we ever going to start a game executing fast? Maybe against Ole Miss, and it needs to be against Ole Miss. We need to start off fast against them, honestly, because I believe that Ole Miss is a very beatable team, even though they can put up points in us because, we lack in the area in which they can exploit, which is the secondary and our defense as a whole. But I still think that we're athletic enough to make enough plays on defense to be able to give our offense enough opportunities to be able to put enough points on this terrible Rebel defense that I'm going to talk about later on in this podcast. But, speaking on the game, man, Zach Bailey was balling at that guard position. He's one reason why the offensive line was able to pave the way for 240 yards rushing against Tennessee. And that's one thing that I want to be ready for Ole Miss is our offensive line needs to be ready to go. But man, this defense is struggling. Our defense is struggling in so many different areas, like getting turnovers, stopping a run, tackling in space, linebackers with run gaps and gap responsibility. Man, secondary, especially safeties. I know we have some injuries there, and that's just unfortunate because that's not an area where we need to have injuries at, because we need to be completely healthy for us to be able to try to put the best athletes that we have on our team out there on the back end in the defense. But also, I said stop booing Jake Bentley. He was one of the reasons why we freaking won that game. He was one of the main reasons why we won. He should have had 2 touchdown passes. So stop booing him. Don't be a dumbass fan base and boo your own player who gives us the best chance to win. Stupid ass Gamecock fans. Stop doing that. Support Jake Bentley and the entire team. I know we get frustrated at times, but guess what? These players actually train throughout the entire year. They put so much work in that you don't even understand. You wouldn't even know. So you need to support. Don't be a dumbass fan base, stupid ass Gamecock fans who's booing. Stop booing. That's not going to help us win. So support Jake Bentley. I'm talking to you, to the ones who's booing. Don't boo no more. You see, he was one of the main reasons why we won. Okay, I'm done with my rant. Now let's get into talk about Bentley got heart, man. Bentley can make plays. If Bentley's confident, Bentley, stay confident. Stay prayed up. Talk to God. Along with everybody else on that football team, especially the secondary, talk to God. You need to talk to Jesus and pray, hey, God, help me with my responsibilities on the field, that I can make plays fast and that I can do the best, to do the best job that I can do to be able to execute the best way that I can to help our team win. So, you know what? I leave it at that. But let's get to the Ole Miss stats. Let's get to Ole Miss, period. You know what I mean? They're coached by head coach, first-year head coach Matt Luke. And I think his name is Matt Luke. Hope it is. Yeah, it is Matt Luke. But Ole Miss defense, they're terrible. You know what I mean? They're 123rd in total defense, giving up around 500 yards per game. 107th in scoring defense, giving up around 35 points per game. 112th in rushing defense, giving up about 218 yards per game. They do have some decent red zone defense. They're 25th in red zone defense, so they get some stops down there. But they're 116th in passing yards and 103rd in defensive team pass efficiency. So that means that, you know, each quarterback that they played against have had pretty much an efficient game passing against them. So that means that they consist of giving up a lot of, you know, touchdowns and yards, and they don't get a lot of interceptions. So that's how that defensive pass team efficiency comes into play. They don't do a combination of those things well on the defensive side of the ball. So now, Vanderbilt's rushing defense was 103rd, and we ran the ball up and down the field on them. So that needs to be the point of emphasis, that we need to try to run the football and keep Jacob Tamu, who is Ole Miss's starting quarterback, who is right now he leads the SEC in passing yards, and he has the best, you know, stats as a QB in the SEC right now. But you know, I'll get to another reason of why their offensive stats are so good. But even though I still do believe they do have a good offense, but we need to keep that offense on the sideline, and we need to have a good time of possession running the football. And I think we have a physical enough offensive line to be able to have a game plan where we're able to run the football efficiently. We don't need to go up tempo so much. We need to just try to pound Ole Miss's defensive line and defensive unit as a whole. I don't think they're going to be all of a sudden. Now they're going to be rested because they had a bye week. But honestly, we should just try to just run the football on them. Bottom line, they're not a good defensive football team. They've been bad in a lot of areas, as you can see. So offense, let's go. Debo, this is your last year. Make it count. Let the nation know you're still explosive. Make plays offensively when your number is called. The one-handed catch against Tennessee was nice, so do it again. Shi Smith, start catching everything like you always was. Forget about those couple of drops. Get right. Get right. Brian Edwards, keep doing what you're doing. Get right. Stay right. What I mean. And Bentley, you straight. You good. Be smart. Make plays. Just be smart. Make plays. You got it. You got all the tools and all the skills to be successful. And this is a good opportunity for us to be 5-3. So offense, I'm gonna need you to score as much as you can to help your defense out. Now, getting to Ole Miss offensively, you know, they give up a good number of sacks, but that's probably one of the reasons because they throw the ball so much. But they're 80th. They give up about 2.5 sacks a game. But, you know, they're 10th in red zone offense, you know, scoring inside of 20. So they score about 94% of the time when they're in the red zone on offense. They're 21st in scoring offense. They put up about 38 points per game. 4th in passing offense, 350 yards per game. So they're one of the best passing offenses in the country. 4th overall out of all the 129 teams. So, you know, 47th in rushing offense. They run the ball decently, and they usually have big plays. You know, they're 8th in passing yards per completion, about 15 yards per catch. So, you know, man, our defense. But let me get to this. Even though we do have defensive struggles, it's still going to be way more athletic. One of the most athletic defenses that they've seen compared to the other teams where they were able to put up so many offensive stats. They were putting up a lot of yards and a lot of points against teams like Southern Illinois, 2-6 Southern Illinois, 4-4 Louisiana Monroe, 1-7 Kent State, 2-7 Arkansas. But one of their best wins Ole Miss has is against Texas Tech. But the rest of those teams, those are not good football teams. Those are not good defensive football teams. So You know, they did put up a bunch of yards in those games. Put up 70 points against Southern Illinois. I know defense scored a couple of touchdowns, but I saw those plays. It was just terrible plays by Southern Illinois' offense. But this game is a winnable game. It's a losable game as well if you don't come out and you don't want to play hard. But South Carolina should have the mentality that they need to take this game. This game is important to get to 5-3 to give us a good shot to be bowl eligible. Because let's just face it, going to the swamp is just going to be a daunting task. And Clemson's good, man. We hate them, but they nasty, man. They nasty, man. I watch them and I'm like, I hate them. But then I'm watching them, I'm like, damn, they good. So, you know, still think Alabama gonna get them. But you never know. You get in those games, you never know what's gonna happen. But anyway, enough about that. But also, you know, Ole Miss has also been bad with discipline. They're one of the most penalized teams. You know, so, you know, I'm going to show the stats right there of their penalties, of how they rank among all the FBS teams when it comes to committing penalties and giving up, and how many penalty yards that they have. But they've been very undisciplined as well in a lot of areas. This is a winnable game. I mean, Ole Miss, we played in a lot more bigger stadiums. Ole Miss, yes, it can probably get loud in Oxford, and their stadium holds about 64,000. But let's just be real. This team needs to go in and want to punch Ole Miss in the mouth, especially the offensive line. Ole Miss's defense is not good, and they're not going to get that much better over a bye week. They had all offseason to get better. They are definitely one of the worst defensive football teams in all of college football. By that being said, if we don't score over 30 points, then I do blame the offensive coaches, because you need to score more than 30 points on this sorry-ass defense. Hey, Southern Illinois did it. You know, so you definitely better score more. Kent State at least scored 17. Arkansas scored 33, so we better score points in this game. Then I am blaming the offensive coaches for not putting up points. You know what I mean? By not getting these guys ready and confident and not ready to go punch these rebels in the mouth. But I'm done. I'm going to try to get another podcast out talking about the big premier games this weekend, where I talked about the big implications that's going to be going on with the SEC East, with that big matchup in Lexington with Georgia at Kentucky at 3:30 on CBS, followed by the doubleheader on CBS that's going to follow 8 p.m. primetime, when Alabama Roll Tide's going to take on the Guyu Tigers in Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium. But SEC Saturday's about to be lit, boy. It's about to be lit, guys. Let's get it. Well, y'all know how we do it out here in the South and in the SEC football, boy. Let's just watch this football, man. And if South Carolina play at 12, they better win, so we can enjoy this entire Saturday and watch those big-time games. But I try to get a little short podcast out talking about those games, because those games are so intriguing. I'm going to try to get it out. Can't promise. But I'm done with this. I'll holler at y'all later. Thank you for listening to episode 17 of Cocky Talk with Marlon Anderson. Holla at your boy.